Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is crucial for anyone looking to build wealth. At its core, an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, while a liability takes money out of your pocket. This simple distinction can fundamentally change how you approach your finances. Let's break it down. Assets include things like real estate, stocks, bonds, and even a business you own. These are investments that generate income or appreciate over time. For example, if you own a rental property, the rent you collect is cash flow that adds to your wealth. On the other hand, liabilities are obligations that require you to spend money. Think of your mortgage, car loans, credit card debt, and even that shiny new gadget you just had to have. These are expenses that can drain your resources if not managed properly. Now, why does this matter? The wealthy understand that accumulating assets is key to financial freedom. They focus on building a portfolio of income-generating assets while minimizing liabilities. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have any liabilities at all. It's about balance. For instance, a mortgage can be a liability, but if the property is an asset that appreciates in value and generates rental income, it can be a smart financial move. Let's look at some real-life examples. Consider two individuals, one who spends their money on luxury cars and the latest tech gadgets, and another who invests in stocks and real estate. The first person may look wealthy on the outside, but their liabilities are piling up. The second person, however, is building a solid foundation for their future. Over time, the second individual's assets will grow, providing them with financial security and freedom. So, how do you focus on building assets while managing liabilities? Start by assessing your current financial situation. List out your assets and liabilities to see where you stand. From there, prioritize investing in assets that align with your financial goals. This could mean setting aside money for a retirement account, investing in a diversified portfolio, or even starting a side hustle that can generate additional income. Remember, it's not just about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and grow. By shifting your mindset to prioritize assets over liabilities, you'll be on the right path to building lasting wealth. Keep your eyes on the prize and make informed decisions that will benefit your financial future. Let's dive right into the concept of assets. An asset is essentially anything that puts money in your pocket. It's a crucial part of building wealth and financial stability. There are two main types of assets: tangible and intangible. Tangible assets are the things you can physically touch. Think about real estate like a rental property. Owning a rental property means you can earn monthly income from tenants. That's cash flow directly into your pocket. Another example is gold. It's a physical asset that can appreciate over time, providing a hedge against inflation. Now, let's talk about intangible assets. These are things you can't physically touch, but they hold significant value. Stocks and bonds are prime examples. When you invest in dividend-paying stocks, you're not just hoping for the stock price to rise, you're also receiving regular payments just for holding those shares. That's money coming in without you having to lift a finger. Then there's intellectual property. If you create something unique, like a patent or a trademark, you have an asset that can generate income through licensing or sales. Even your own skills and knowledge can be considered assets. The more you invest in yourself, the more you can earn. Whether it's through a higher salary or starting your own business, your expertise can lead to financial gain. Let's not forget about savings accounts. While they might not seem exciting, they are still assets. When you deposit money into a savings account, it earns interest over time. That's your money working for you, growing steadily without any extra effort on your part. The key takeaway here is that an asset either generates income or appreciates in value over time. It's about making smart choices that contribute to your financial future. Imagine an upward graph labeled Asset Value Over Time. As you acquire more assets, that graph should trend upward, reflecting your growing wealth. So whether you're considering investing in real estate, stocks, or even enhancing your own skills, remember that each of these can serve as a stepping stone toward financial freedom. The more assets you have, the more opportunities you create for yourself. It's all about building a portfolio that works for you, ensuring that your money is actively contributing to your financial goals.
Liabilities are a crucial concept to understand if you want to manage your finances effectively. Simply put, a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Think of it this way: every time you have to make a payment, whether it's for a credit card, a car loan, or a mortgage, you're dealing with a liability. Let's break it down further. Liabilities can be categorized into short-term and long-term. Short-term liabilities include things like credit card debt and utility bills. These are the expenses that you need to pay off quickly, usually within a year. On the other hand, long-term liabilities are more significant commitments, such as mortgages, car loans, or student debt. These can take years, even decades, to pay off. Now, let's look at some specific examples. Monthly car loan payments are a common liability. You buy a car, and suddenly, you have this monthly payment that you need to budget for. Then there's the home mortgage. Owning a home is often seen as an asset, but the mortgage is a liability that can weigh heavily on your finances. Outstanding credit card balances also fall into this category. If you're not careful, those can accumulate quickly and lead to financial stress. It's important to recognize that unlike assets, which can increase your net worth, liabilities decrease it. They can hold you back financially if not managed well. Imagine having a mountain of debt looming over you. It can feel overwhelming and limit your ability to save or invest for the future. Managing liabilities effectively is key to maintaining financial health. This means keeping track of what you owe and making a plan to pay it off. For instance, if you have credit card debt, focus on paying that off first, as it often comes with high interest rates. And here's a tip: consider consolidating your debts. This can simplify your payments and potentially lower your interest rates. Visualize your financial journey as a graph. When you take on liabilities, that graph trends downward, representing the impact on your wealth. But with careful management, you can turn that trend around. By understanding what liabilities are and how they affect your finances, you can make informed decisions that lead to a healthier financial future. Remember, it's not just about how much you earn, it's also about how much you keep. So, keep an eye on those liabilities and take control of your financial destiny.
When we talk about finances, understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is crucial. Let's break it down clearly. An asset is something that adds money to your pocket. Think of it as a source of income or value. Examples include stocks, rental properties, or even savings accounts. These are things that can grow in value or generate cash flow for you. On the flip side, we have liabilities. These are obligations that take money out of your pocket. Common examples include loans, debts, and monthly bills. They represent what you owe, and they can decrease your overall net worth. Now, let's look at a practical example to illustrate this. Imagine you buy a car if you purchase it for personal use, and it depreciates over time while you're making monthly payments. That car is a liability. It costs you money without generating any income. However, if you take that same car and use it for a delivery business, suddenly it transforms into an asset. It's now generating income for you, making it a valuable tool rather than a financial drain. This distinction is vital when managing your finances. Assets increase your net worth, while liabilities decrease it. So, when you're making financial decisions, always ask yourself, is this going to add to my wealth or take away from it? This mindset can help you build a stronger financial future. In summary, assets are your friends in wealth building, while liabilities can hold you back. Keep this in mind as you navigate your financial journey.
Building assets while managing liabilities is crucial for financial health. Let's dive into some practical steps you can take. First, focus on income-generating assets. This means investing in things like stocks, rental properties, or even starting a side hustle. Think about it. Every dollar you invest in a stock or a property is a step towards financial freedom. If you can create a stream of income that works for you, you're on the right path. Next, let's talk about reducing high-interest liabilities. If you have credit card debt, tackle that first. The interest on credit cards can be a financial drain, so prioritize paying those off. Also, avoid unnecessary loans. If you don't need it, don't buy it. It's all about making smart choices that keep your financial future in mind. Now, here's a game changer. Reframe your purchases. Before you buy something, ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? For instance, instead of splurging on a luxury car that depreciates the moment you drive it off the lot, consider investing that money in a rental property. That property could generate income and appreciate over time, while the car just sits in your driveway, losing value. Let's not forget about leveraging good debt. Not all liabilities are bad. A mortgage on an income-generating property is a perfect example. Yes, it's a liability, but it can also build wealth over time. If you're using debt to acquire assets that generate income, you're playing the game smartly. Lastly, track your net worth regularly. This is key to ensuring your assets are growing faster than your liabilities. Calculate your net worth by subtracting your total liabilities from your total assets. Keep an eye on this number. It's a clear indicator of your financial health. If you see it increasing, you're on the right track. Remember, building assets and managing liabilities isn't just about numbers. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your financial goals. Stay focused, make informed decisions, and watch your wealth grow.
I want to share some real-life stories that illustrate how understanding assets and liabilities can truly transform your financial life. Let's start with Arjun. He was just an ordinary guy, earning a decent salary, but he had a vision. Every month, he set aside Rs 5,000 to invest in stocks. At first, it seemed like a small amount, but he was consistent. Over 5 years, that Rs 5,000 grew into a Rs 10 lakh portfolio. How did he do it? He focused on building assets. He learned about the stock market, researched companies, and made informed decisions. Today, Arjun is not just a saver. He's an investor, and he is on the path to financial independence. Now, let's talk about Priya. She faced a common challenge: high-interest credit card debt. Instead of ignoring it, she made a bold choice. Priya prioritized paying off her debt before even thinking about an emergency fund. It wasn't easy. She cut back on her expenses and stayed disciplined. But once she cleared that debt, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders. With no more high-interest payments, she could finally start saving. Priya's journey shows us that managing liabilities is just as crucial as building assets. Then there's Ravi. He took a different approach. Instead of letting his liabilities weigh him down, he turned them into opportunities. Ravi bought a second home, not for himself, but as a rental property. Initially, it felt like a risk, but he saw the potential. Today, that property earns him Rs 25,000 every month. It's not just a roof over someone's head. It's an asset that contributes to his wealth. Ravi's story teaches us that liabilities can be transformed into assets with the right mindset. These stories highlight a powerful lesson. Focusing on assets while managing liabilities can change your financial trajectory. It's about making informed choices and being proactive. Whether it's investing, paying off debt, or turning liabilities into income-generating assets, each step counts. Remember, your assets are your path to wealth. So, take charge of your financial journey today.
Managing assets and liabilities can feel like walking a tightrope. One misstep, and you could find yourself in a financial free fall. One of the most common mistakes I see is confusing wants with needs. It's easy to get swept up in the latest trends or that shiny new gadget. But when you start prioritizing these wants over your actual needs, like housing, food, and healthcare, you're setting yourself up for trouble. It's crucial to distinguish between what you want and what you truly need to maintain a stable financial foundation. Another pitfall is ignoring interest rates. Many people don't realize how much interest can add up over time, especially with credit cards or loans. A seemingly small difference in interest rates can lead to paying hundreds, if not thousands, more over the life of a loan. It's essential to shop around and understand the terms before committing. Don't just look at the monthly payment, look at the total cost of borrowing. That's where the real impact lies. Then there's the emergency fund, or lack thereof. Life is unpredictable. Unexpected expenses can pop up at any moment, whether it's a medical bill, car repair, or job loss. Without an emergency fund, you might find yourself relying on credit cards or loans, which can lead to a cycle of debt. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. It may seem daunting, but having that cushion can provide peace of mind and financial security. Over-leveraging good debt is another common mistake. Yes, some debt can be beneficial, like a mortgage or student loans, which can lead to future earnings. However, when you take on too much debt, even if it's considered good, you risk stretching your finances too thin. It's important to assess your overall financial picture and ensure that your debt-to-income ratio remains healthy. Just because you can borrow doesn't mean you should. Lastly, let's talk about budgeting. Many people overlook the importance of a solid budget. A budget isn't just a list of expenses, it's a roadmap to your financial goals. Without it, you might find yourself spending more than you earn, leading to debt accumulation. Track your income and expenses diligently. This will help you identify areas where you can cut back and redirect those funds towards savings or paying down debt. In summary, managing assets and liabilities requires a clear understanding of your financial landscape, distinguishing between wants and needs, paying attention to interest rates, building an emergency fund, avoiding over-leveraging, and sticking to a budget are all critical components. By being mindful of these common mistakes, you can navigate your financial journey with confidence and stability.
Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is crucial for achieving financial success. It's not just about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep and how wisely you grow it. Let's break this down. Assets are things that put money in your pocket. Think of investments, rental properties, or even a side business. They generate income or appreciate in value over time. On the other hand, liabilities are expenses that take money out of your pocket. This includes debts, loans, and even things like car payments or credit card bills. Many people focus solely on increasing their income, but if you're not managing your assets and liabilities effectively, you might find yourself in a financial bind. It's essential to build a solid foundation by starting small. Consider this. What's one asset you can start building today? Maybe it's investing in a low-cost index fund or starting a small side hustle. Even saving a little bit each month can lead to significant growth over time. Now, let's talk about liabilities. What's one liability you can reduce? Perhaps it's cutting back on unnecessary subscriptions or paying down that credit card debt. Every dollar you save from reducing liabilities can be redirected towards building your assets. Tracking your progress is vital. Keep a journal or use an app to monitor your assets and liabilities. This will help you see how your financial situation evolves and motivate you to stay on track. Remember, financial freedom doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey made up of small, consistent steps. Over time, those small actions can lead to big changes. So, what's one asset you're working on building, or one liability you're focused on reducing? I'd love to hear about your journey in the comments. Sharing our experiences can inspire and motivate each other to achieve our financial goals.